What's up, guys? In this one, we're checking out some changes for the front suspension on the YJ. Hopefully these will be some upgrades. Got some new parts, and check them out. Oh. So this is how the YJ is sitting right now. Hard to tell in a cramped garage. I don't know, maybe you can see the rear tire there sticking out a little bit more than they were before. Used to be really tucked in. The Wagoneer rear axle is 2 inches narrower than the front. Ended up putting some wheel spacers on there. Said I wasn't gonna do it. Well, I lied. We're gonna try it out. I'm waiting on some more products for the brake drums there in the back. Kind of just rebuilding them, and then we'll take it for a spin and see how everything works. But in this video, we're focused on the front suspension. Originally, I thought these were some BDS 3.5-inch springs. I don't know. There was a part number on there. I searched for it. I thought it was BDS. Kind of seems like it's not. Anyways, it's only a 4-leaf pack because originally I took the second smallest leaf out of it. Made this thing flex really well. The ride got a lot better, but one of the problems is the ride is too good on the highway. It's so soft. We do get a little bit of sway. Eventually, we're going to put hydraulic assist on in here. I've got most of the parts. I just need to do the steering box part. And from my experience, when you put a hydraulic ram on with really soft suspension and no sway bar, it makes the sway even worse. So don't want to mess with that on the highway. One thing we're going to do to try to help mitigate that is get some newer springs and hopefully some better springs, since I don't even know what these are. I picked up some 3.5-inch BDS military wrap springs. For sure are from BDS. They're only about 128 bucks each, so not too bad of a price. Let's check them out and get them on. Well, that took forever to get those off. Check out these two springs. You can really see the difference between the old one on the bottom and the new one we're putting in on the top. So yeah, the one on the top is a little bit thicker because it does have one extra leaf. These are specifically for the front of the YJ, where these ones, I don't know what they are, so I can't really tell you where they belong, but slightly different clamp style. This one's just like the wraparound kind. This one is the bolt kind. The biggest difference is this. Look at the spring eye. This one just has the main leaf wrapping around. This one has the main leaf wrapping around, and then the second leaf has a wrap around it too. Why is this important? Well, if you watch my latest Rubicon video of when we took the Samurai out this last time, it was this style of leaf. The main leaf is unsupported. It's just one leaf in there. In combination with not having a very good clamp on there, when that axle hit something hard, the path of least resistance was to bend the main leaf. And because it didn't have that military wrap on the eye, the main leaf was just by itself, and it was much weaker like that, and it just bent. Good reason to have those. Otherwise, these things look pretty similar. The only difference, hopefully, is going to be those that I've already said, and these bushings will fit in there because these are relatively new bushings. Now on this, they are 2 different sizes, 2 different size bolts. Hopefully it's not going to be a factor in here. I don't really see anything identifying these as front or rear. Let's try to slap it on. Here's how she's sitting now. We've got the new springs installed. I actually just redid everything on the internals of the drum brakes. So got new shoes, springs, and the drums themselves, everything. So I don't have any type of parking brake or emergency brake going on right now because of the cage install. So thankfully it's impossible to drive around with that stuck on anymore, which is probably what contributed to me losing my brake so quickly in the back. But yeah, there it is. 4-inch stretch is still looking pretty good. I used to have like equal distance between the fender on the back and the fender on the top. So I'm thinking we might have gotten like 1/2 inch, just 3/4 inch of lift in the front, which is no bueno because the whole point of this is I was trying to keep this thing low, but they're brand new. So I'm gonna go drive it around. Hopefully gonna settle down a little bit in the front. If it wants to drop 1 inch, I'd be good with that. Definitely hard to tell on video. The stance looks a lot better with those wheel spacers in the back. You can see the tire used to be 1.5 inches that way, but not anymore. So here's me blocking the middle of the street in my neighborhood. Go take this thing for test drive, see how the springs feel, get a sense for what the ride's gonna be like, and you know, maybe in the end I'll want to take that bottom leaf out of this pack. I've done it a bunch of times with leaf springs, but honestly, I really don't recommend it unless you have the flexibility to just keep going back and forth and try new things out, because these springs are layered in such a way to where each leaf is supporting the next bigger leaf, and when you take one out, they just don't function the same, and you can kind of beat them up that way. Enough of that chat. Let's go for a drive and see how she does. Wow, I'm really surprised at how well this is riding and flexing. This spring and shackle right here is getting pretty close to horizontal, but man, I think these flex as well as my previous ones that had, you know, only 4 leaves. This is great. Driving around over like speed bumps and stuff in town, hit some rough country roads, and then lastly took it up to highway speeds, which for me in this is like 60, 65. I usually don't go too fast, but it did great. And I really didn't expect a lot out of the BDS springs. I thought a regular spring company, you know, not being custom made or Diva or anything like that. I figured they were going to be super stiff, a better ride on the road as far as the sway that I was encountering before, but I'm surprised. Actually, it did way better. The flex, you know, I didn't really flex it out super bad. I have the bump stops on there, and I think it's going to actually hit them, which is great. The on-road ride is just as good as the 4 leafs I had in there for those kind of bastard packs that I had made, and couldn't be happier. BDS also has a really awesome warranty. If the spring fails in any ways, you just send it back, no questions asked, and you can get some new springs. So, I mean, really, what more can you ask for in the springs? I'm enjoying them. I might even run theirs in the rear once I do my XJ spring swap in the back, depending if they have the right size spring or not, because in the front, it's a 3.5-inch spring under. Got to find something similar for the rear in an XJ spring. So hopefully they have something like that, because I really enjoyed it. Well, thanks for checking out the video, guys. If you want to see more upgrades with the YJ, we just keep changing stuff on it, trying to make it better and better. Make sure you subscribe so you can see when they come out. See you guys in the next one.